else, and they're fighting off walkers. And Bear got a huge cut on his leg because he slipped and fell on a huge rock, and it just cut his leg open. Rex is trying to stitch that, and then a walker bumps Rex on accident. Well, yeah, it just bumps Rex, and it moves his stitch, and the stitch goes all the way through his leg, Bear's leg, and just causes more pain for Bear. And they eventually they move on because Nano has the least to lose, so he distracts the walkers, and he runs off, and they all start chasing him. And then Jake is all like, well, what about Sardix? We can't leave him behind. There's a 50-50 chance that he's alive. And Kid hesitates to do this, but he wants to keep everyone alive because he is the leader of the group. And Jake is like, fine, and he's all pissed off because he does not want to leave Sardix behind, because Jake and I are good friends in real life. And he writes in the dirt, RIP Sardix 1999 to 2602, a good friend, member of Potato. Sardix sees that, and he kind of walks after their footprints, and he comes across Nano, who is getting eaten by walkers. He's torn open. Sardix kills him, kills the walkers. And he is like just saying stuff. He's like, "I'm so sorry this happened to you, Nano." He picks up the gun from Nano, and goes after the guy and goes after everyone else. And he finally catches up to them. And they get him up to speed and what their plan is. Episode 6 is Once Bitten, Twice Shy. That's the name of the episode, because at the end of the episode, I'll get there in just a second, but they find this old building, which apparently was Aldous Witch's, one of Aldous Witch's outposts or science labs, that he used to create the walkers, and they found some information on how to kill the walkers. They have to find these machines somewhere on the planet, which they do find the closest one, and they're like, okay, at the end of our journey, the living will rise, and we will make the dead die. And everyone's like, okay, good plan, we'll scavenge this, and then we'll head off in the morning. In the morning, the Kid wakes up and he notices Nine's gone, but all his bags are still there, so he's like, okay, Nine probably just went out to go take a piss. But he notices that there is a bloody arrow on the ground, and some rounds that he thought he heard in, like, some pistol bullet shells all over the ground. He's like, oh god, Nine's probably missing, and he hears some rustling in the bushes. He opens the bushes, a walker comes out and bites Kid right on the wrist. Kid stomps on the walker's head and kills it, and then Jake and Sardix come out because they heard some noises, and they're like, dude, you okay? And Kid hides the bite. He's like, Nine's missing, I don't know where he is, and we're all like, okay, we're gonna find him. Episode 7 is where Season 1 was originally supposed to end. They're looking for Nine. They don't know where he is. We're all concerned because it is Kid's brother and he's a good friend. We end up chasing this guy down who's holding Nine hostage, that no one really recognizes, but everyone surrounds him towards the middle of the end of the episode. And they're all surrounding him. They have their guns pointed at him. No one, he doesn't see any of us, but Kid is out in the middle. The guy has Nine, he's holding Nine hostage. He's got a gun on Nine, and we're all Kid said he'd give us an order to fire. Kid's like, you don't have to do this, just please let him go, you don't need to do this. He's like, oh no, I have to. It's the only way that it's the only way that I can get you guys over to my camp, and we want nothing to do with this guy because we think he's a freaking psychopath. And he kind of is a little bit, and so is the guy's leader, who you'll meet in what was supposed to be Season 2. Nick is just kind of tired of waiting, and he takes a shot and hits the guy right in the shoulder, which is a shoulder that he's kind of using to hold Nine hostage. He lets go and he screams. Then we all open fire. Nine is crawling towards Kid. He doesn't get hit, but the guy gets shot several times before he runs off. And then Nine runs up to Kid. We're all like, oh yeah, we found him. And then Kid collapses and faints. And then he's on a bed, and we're all just sitting there, and Rex is kind of scolding Kid, and he's like, why didn't you tell us you were bitten? We could have taken your arm off, and we could have saved you. But no, you didn't. He's like, I decided that that saving 9 was a better alternative than having my arm cut off and wasting more time that we could have spent looking for 9. And 9's crying, he's in tears. He's like, I don't want to lose you, bro. And the kid is just on the verge of death here. And he gives his last words, and he's like, 9, stay away from buildings. They're just not worth it. And he gives him advice, and he's like, you were the best brother I could ever have. And then, we have to put him down because he'll come back as a walker, which is like the sad part. And Sardix raises his shotgun into the air and shoots off a couple of rounds, like a military kind of. I think it's called the 29-shot salute. I don't know. It's something like that, and we all kind of do that. The episode ends at kind of the season 1 ends. We're all like, it's a sad ending. And season 2 comes up. It starts off with 9. He's got Kid's pistol. He's got a scar down his left eye. And Jake comes up. He's like, 9, we gotta get a move on. We gotta find that machine to kill the walkers. He's like, right. And then there's like some kind of controversy that 9 and Sardix had, and they're not really too friendly with each other right now. They're kind of always fighting and arguing with each other. And Sardix says something that really pisses 9 off. And it's about like Kid and stuff. And he's I don't remember what the conversation was supposed to be, but it really sets 9 over the edge. And he's like, well, why don't you just leave? We could do better without you. And the irony of the part is that Sardix gets separated from the group by a herd of walkers. And you don't really see Sardix in it. Like in the 3rd episode of season 2, I don't remember what season episode 2 was supposed to have in it, but in the 3rd episode it says about like a month later, and the walkers are at like stage 9 of evolution, and I'll explain that probably in another video. They end up finding this camp that they're going to raid, and Jake looks over at this one bag, and it's Sardix's shotgun. He goes to grab it, and this red, gunmetal gray, and yellow guy points his gun at it. Whoa, 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 whoa. You do not want to do that. And another guy, who's yellow and orange and silver, comes up, and they both have 2.0 visors. And he's got one arm, and then Sardix comes out of the bushes, and Jake's like, oh my god, Sardix, you're alive! And we're all excited to see each other, but then the leader of our group comes up, and he's like, Sardix, is this the group you were with before? Ones who said that they'd be better if you were dead or something like that. And he's like, yeah, but I don't care anymore. They're alive. That's what matters. And he's like, I disagree. And he goes up to 9. He's like, so you were the one who said that Sardix was no good and that he was better off dead. And so he kind of chuckles a little bit. He walks off and then turns around and shoots 9. And then 9 collapses on the ground, and I go over and I'm like, oh my god, 9, I'm so sorry. What have I done? And then I go up and I punch the leader in the face. And then he like pretty much beats me almost to death. And Rex is doing his best to save 9. And then red and gunmetal gray and yellow guy shoots the gold and green leader guy. And we're all like, oh my god, no, please no. Why does this have to happen? It's such a sad moment. And sad because 9 dies. And they have a burial and stuff the next day, the funeral, and you're like, a good guy, and you're just, like, 9 was a good guy, he was a great leader, he definitely took after Kid. It was just a dramatic moment there, but then they keep moving on, and then they run into another herd of walkers, where at this point they're running through, and Nick gets bit on the hand, and Jake is like, no, I'm not losing anyone else. He takes out a hatchet and cuts Nick's arm off to try and save Nick, but it doesn't really do any good because in the next episode, Rex is like, well, Jake probably did slow down the infection a little bit with chopping off Nick's arm, but sadly it didn't do any good. And Nick's gonna die, and then Jake's all pissed. He's just going out killing walkers, and he's just constantly, like, repeatedly stabbing this one walker in the face. He's like, "You're all stupid, I hate you all so much." And he's not realizing how much noise he's making when he doesn't realize two walkers are behind him. And, one grabs him by his left arm and takes a huge chunk out of his left arm, when the other is like a crawler, and it bites Jake right in the ankle, and he's in pain. Stardust runs up, he's like, "No, my god, dang it! No, I'm not losing Jake!" And he gets Rex over. They amputate his right leg, and his left arm, and it just keeps kind of escalating. And then in episode, I don't remember, but in the next episode, Jake wakes up, and Sark's like, okay, good, he's alive, and Rex made robotic limbs for Jake, and now he's like pretty much like the Terminator here. He's got a robotic right leg and a robotic left arm, and they keep going to this machine. They find it, but here's the thing. It needs Quasar of course, because it's Aldous Witch, and it needs Quasar to be powered. And here's the downside of it. It needs about as much Quasar that 3 heroes have in them. Rex volunteers himself, and Jake pushes him back, and he's like, "No, you stay here where I can keep my eyes on you. You are not dying, okay? I don't care what happens to those 2 new guys or whatever that Stardust was with, because I don't know them that well. You are staying here so you can be a part of Potato Films and stuff." And Rex is like, okay. And he's like all kind of like freaked out by that scolding that Jake just gave him. But the 2 guys step up. And there's a third guy, I guess. The third, that leader that Stardust was with after he got separated from the group. He runs up and he tries to attack them, but then they end up locking him in this machine. It drains the Quasar from him, and the other 2 sacrifice themselves. And then it sends out 5 shockwave bursts and kills all the walkers instantly, and clears the virus from their bodies. And they're all happy, but then again, at the same time, they're really sad because they lost so many friends along the way. And the video just kind of fades. The end credits roll with like a kind of dramatic and sad, but yet happy music. And then before the video ends, it's got like a kind of like piano music playing, like not really like exciting, but kind of sad. And happy at the same time, kind of sad piano music playing, and it's snowing, and Jake and Stardust are in this graveyard, and they both have flowers and stuff, and 9's grave, like they made graves for 9, Kid, Nick, Nano, pretty much everyone who died, and they set flowers on all their graves, and they say their last words, and they're like, "We miss you so much, you guys were good friends. We hate it that you had to leave us like that." And then the series ends. So that was Infected for you. But I hate to have to cancel it. But kind of a good end to the series. That what I told you there with Graves. But the reason why I'm canceling it again is because I have so many other series that I want to do, and then plus 4 movies that I want to make. So yeah, but hopefully this, guys, will cheer you up. Kid and I and Jake, Jake and I were talking on Skype one time on the official Potato Films conference call, and Kid wanted it to be like at the end of the episode, like it shows him in his grave, he's in his casket shaking, he's like, "Get me out of here!" Is like just as like a joke, but that hopefully kind of lifted up your spirits and made you laugh a little bit, but yeah, I'm sorry that this had to happen, guys. I just have too many series going on. I did not want to cancel it. I thought it over, and here it is. But hopefully I will be able to make up for that with the new series that I'm going to make. And I am ordering some parts off of Bricklink for Calitraz 100 Self-Mock. I'm going to make a music video with Jake, or Beast, Calitraz 100, and Stardust. I don't remember Calitraz's Self-Mock's name, but it's going to be the 3 of them in a music video that I want to make. It's going to be pretty funny, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this vlog. Thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to like, favorite, and subscribe if you've not already done so. And I'm so sorry for canceling Hero Factory Infected, but hey, there you go. Thanks for watching.